Meta has found a way to figure out how to keep the billions of dollars in revenue that they are making from fraudulent advertisers who are just using ads on Meta's platforms to,
Good job, Zuck.
defraud people. This is based on a Reuters report that shows that internal documents allegedly show that Meta understood that a large portion of its advertising revenue from Chinese partners, and this is not like a little bit large portion, this is like roughly 19% of their advertising revenue in 2024, over $3 billion, came from ads that were tied to, and brace yourself, scams, illegal gambling, pornography, and other prohibited content. Then, seeing all that, Meta went, well, what we could do is we could crack down on this. But, hear me out, alternate plan, we could not.
And make billions of dollars.
From bogus products in Taiwan to investment scams in the US and Canada, China has become a major source of scam ads on Meta's platforms globally. A special China-focused anti-fraud team initially was able to cut this problematic Chinese ad revenue nearly in half. But all of this is allegedly, because I do not work for Reuters and I did not do the reporting for this, allegedly, after a strategy shift influenced by the Zuck himself, the team was apparently disbanded and tougher enforcement measures were shelved. In a big surprise to everyone, especially the Zuck, fraudulent ads, and therefore the revenue associated with them, rebounded.
I wonder when this was. Was this during like his big layoff when he was like, we need to...
The year of efficiency? No, I think it's more recent than that. Actually, you know what? No, don't quote me on that. Let's leave it. Go check out the link to Reuters, which Dan will throw in the video chat description chat. He'll throw in the chat. A big part of the reason that this works so well is that Meta's ad ecosystem in China relies on layers of resellers that obscure advertisers' identities, making it easier for scammers to place ads. Consultants warned that this setup enables fraud and that Meta's enforcement was weaker than their competitors, and it appears that they just don't care because they'd rather just take the money and go, la, 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 I don't know that fraudulent ads are happening on the platform, la, 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 la. I mean, to me, even with the network of resellers, it doesn't seem that complicated. Because apparently it's like, I read the article, apparently it's like 11 like main, like top level resellers or something like that. So if Meta cared at all, even with the whole layers of resellers thing, just pushing the responsibility onto them and going, yeah, I will literally ban you if too much of this crap makes it through.
You know how like so many things in life are bell curves? And there's that whole meme where there's like the person who's just like chill about a thing because they're like ignorant to it or whatever. And then the person freaking out about the thing because they're at like a medium level of skill or knowledge. And then on the other end, it's just someone who's like extremely skilled or extremely knowledgeable and they're just chill again. I feel like this kind of applies to this situation as well.
Really? This is kind of a wild take. Let's see where he's going with this.
Really small company can often get away with just like not caring or paying attention to these types of things.
Oh, I see what you mean.
A medium-sized company gets like crushed by everyone because you're now big enough, you have to care about these things.
Yep.
And then really big companies just get to ignore them again. They get to basically not have customer service. They get to not police things like ads or anything else on their platforms because they're like, I don't know, we're too big. We can't do that anymore. Of course, that's totally fine. Even though they like definitely have the resources to do so.
Yep.
It's interesting how like requirements, policies, upholding certain standards and stuff are really pushed for it, like the middle size.
This is wild. I saved this. Facebook. I think I talked about this last week, how Facebook sent me an invitation to use some feature on my page.
Do you need to search for... Oh, never mind.
Yeah, no, I got it. Okay. They create a fan challenge to keep your audience engaged with your page on Facebook. They sent me the same thing again. In fact, here, you can see in the last week, I have 3 emails from Facebook. 1, 2, 3. All with the same subject line for the Linus Tech Tips page on Facebook to create this fan challenge. Now, I've gone into the Facebook dashboard, and I'm not an expert on like Facebook page management or profile management or advertising or anything. I log into Facebook as infrequently as I can, and I only really use it for Marketplace at this point. So I'm not going to claim that I have done the world's greatest job of finding where to turn this off. But what I have done is I've gone into my Facebook dashboard and I've turned off every communication method that I could find, because I don't want emails from them unless it's something to do with like the taxation for like paying out our Facebook video ads, which were a thing for a while. And honestly, now they're not even that much. I don't think we're really making pretty much anything on Facebook anymore. They had that big push into video like 6 years ago or something like that. Anyway,
however long ago.
Yeah, 4 or 5. I don't know.
It happened though.
I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah, we're both hanging out.
So I don't want to miss an important message. So I can't just filter every message from Facebook. So I wanted to turn off specifically this. Now in Canada, anyway, we have a law called CAN spam that dictates that you are not allowed to send an email that is unsolicited, and you need to have a clear way to unsubscribe. Luke, can you find in this email any even attempt to adhere to CAN spam regulations?
Not in the slightest.
There is not only no button to unsubscribe from this email, but there isn't even a link to my dashboard for where to turn it off.
I have someone in particular that I might be actually genuinely enforcing to reporting to CAN spam stuff soon.
Wait, CAN spam is U.S. law? Canada is CASL? Am I crazy? CAN spam. Holy shit.
If you look up CAN spam, it does bring up Canada's anti-spam legislation.
Huh, cool. Okay, then they're violating U.S. law and Canadian law. That's cool.
But it is called CASL. It's interesting when you Google it that it brings up Canada's.
Yeah, I completely Mandela affected myself.
I suspect this is a commonly Mandela affected one, considering it brings up Canada's.
Anyway.
But it is CASL. The commenter is correct.
Cool. Thank you for that. And also, doesn't change the point.
It is interesting.
You're right. A really, really small company would probably get away with just like sending out unsolicited. You'd kind of go,
because most people are like, whatever.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
They
probably don't even know. And like enforcing every policy for freaking everywhere is honestly just impossible. So whatever. And then you get to a certain size and everyone's like,
hey, you need
to comply with every single thing everywhere in the entire world all the time, or else we will delete your entire company. And then you get to that size and it's like, well, you're not going to touch them anyways. And even if you do, they're not going to care about the fines because it's probably worth it to them to just pay the fines that are ultimately like, they'll be like, oh yeah, by violating this policy, we made $382 million and the fine costs $15 million. So like,
cost of doing business,
that's the best cost of doing business I've ever heard of. Sounds good. Pay the fine. Like you just hit these levels where it just doesn't matter anymore. And it's funky. Yeah. And I'm not surprised that they're shirking like all of this stuff because who cares? People aren't going to stop using them. Because that's another thing. You hit like a certain level of critical mass where people can scream about it all they want, but they're not going to stop using meta services. Maybe a tiny handful, but like it's not going to significantly impact their actual like user base.
Lieutenant Salty says, my boss sends out emails using our POS software. We send texts and emails. And I've told my boss he needs to have an unsubscribe option. He's just like, nah.
Yeah.
Yep. Apparently that's what the Zuck said too. Nah.
But yeah, I've got somebody who sends emails to my personal email inbox, and I don't even care. That's a dumpster fire. But I have unsubscribed multiple times and blocked them multiple times, but they keep just taking their email list and bringing it over to different email services. because I'm sure they just know this happens.
Yep.
And like I've never actually done a report before, but I might actually do it because I have blocked and unsubscribed at least close to 10 times.
I have a conspiracy theory that the unsubscribe button is actually just to verify that it's a real inbox.
I am 100% certain that happens at least sometimes because I know of at least one case.
And so
they might even actually unsubscribe you to that list, but then sell the information that you're definitely a real person reading their actual email.
To their other company.
Yep. Yep, very cool.
I feel like in medieval times, they would have just like...
Oh, Kinjara just said, I work for an e-com company and we have migrated email servers multiple times over the last 5 years for the very reason you mentioned. That's rough. Thanks for letting me know. That is interesting. But also, I think this person is literally like more than 1 or 2 times a year. It's very often. Like... But that is, I'm not surprised by these things. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like at a certain scale, you just don't care and you work around it. And at the bottom scale, other people don't care. And then in the middle, you get crushed by both not realistic. You get crushed by both like governmental regulation stuff and people expectations.
I'm reporting these as spam.
It's a great filter.
And Google won't do anything.
Nope. No, they won't.
Oh, I just blocked it. Whoops. No, I don't. You know what? Fine. F it. I'm just never going to get an email from Facebook again, apparently. Actually, I really shouldn't do that.
If we don't know about taxes, we don't have to pay them, right? Is that how that works?
No, actually, our current issue is that they are withholding some taxes from us that they shouldn't be because we're Canadian. And Yvonne has like a long chain going back and forth with them. I haven't actually brought that because it's a separate support team for like they have a support team for like money.
Right.
But just like managing your page and just my account, like I don't have anything special in there. So
no, Mayrink, that is not financial advice from me. Yeah. This is important right now.